following podcast contains explicit language.
What's going on?
All right, I'm done. Go ahead. Wait, I might burp. No, it's not. I'm gonna go ahead.
What's going on, High Minders? Welcome back to the Mind Meld, a podcast hosted by Mason Burns.
Hello.
And me, J.S. Price. The Mind Meld is a lively discussion about yours and our favorite stoner thoughts, pop culture references, video games, and more, or as we like to call it, an hour of your lives that you're never getting back. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and it was good to know you. Hello.
Hey.
We're yet again,
Yeah.
after a many week hiatus, we're
I
back.
feel like it wasn't that long.
It was a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, like we had our things, right?
Yep.
I went to the ER. You went to California.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
You know,
Things happen.
Things happen.
We both
Things
work,
happen.
so.
Yeah, we both work.
It's tough.
Both like lots of things happen. So you can't blame us for not being present when we have so many important things going on.
I mean, I blame us.
I don't. I blame the viewers.
Oh.
Not the listeners though, just the viewers.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should, keep them separated. Anyway,
Move on. Move on.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, how was your week, Mason?
My week.
There's no better way to start it other than asking how your week was. Unless it was a bad week.
No, it was a good week.
Oh, it was a good week.
Because this was the school I work at was on spring break, so I had all week off to just do nothing. Because like you said, I came back from California.
Yep.
On Monday. Monday night is when I got home. We drove, so that was really exhausting. But after we got back, I was just doing
How long
nothing.
is that drive?
Because
where were you in California?
We were in right south of LA.
Okay.
We were in this place called San Pedro, and if you don't stop at all, you don't hit traffic, and you go all the way through, it's 18 and a half hours.
Jesus. Did you guys stop anywhere?
On the way down, we went all the way through.
What?
Yeah, we left at 5 o'clock in the morning, drove all the way through, got there at about 1:30 at night. Yeah, it was an intense day.
Wow. Did you guys take turns driving?
Yeah, we swapped
Okay,
off.
okay.
I drove majority. I probably drove 12 to 13 hours of the trip.
Okay.
My mom drove a couple hours, and Ona drove a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
So like it was split pretty, not like evenly, just because like I was willing to drive that and I kind of wanted to.
Sure.
But I drove majority of it, and that trip, it was fun. The driving was fun, but it was like on the way down, it was just like so exhausting. I was like, we got there at like 1:30, and I was like, holy shit, I do not want to do anything else today.
I can imagine. I've only done like a few road trips, and every time they've been really fun. And it's also important to mention that during those road trips, I've never done the driving.
Yeah.
However, yeah, just even being in the car, like not being able to extend my legs like fully for that long feels bad.
That's the longest I've driven continuously. 'Cause I've driven to Texas before, and that's like longer hours wise. But
like from Washington to Texas, Jesus.
Yeah, but that's longer hours wise, but it's not.
But that's something that you have to like stop for.
Yeah. You when we did it, we stopped twice.
Okay.
We stopped in New Mexico, and then we stopped somewhere else.
Jesse.
We stopped in Raton.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
It's like right by the border.
Gotcha.
The border of the neighboring state.
Gotcha.
The northern state.
Yes.
I don't remember the name of that state.
I don't know.
I think it's Colorado.
Somewhere.
But yeah, no, it was a really exhausting drive. It was like, it's not a pretty drive either. Like as soon as you get out of Oregon, it's really ugly.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like disgustingly ugly the whole way down.
Really? Like, okay.
Like
when
literally.
you say disgustingly ugly, in my head, I just like I can't. Okay, I imagine what I assume you mean is like boring. Because when I think of disgustingly ugly, I'm like, there's got to be like trash everywhere.
Well, yeah, maybe disgustingly ugly is too intense of a term. To be fair, like it's not disgusting. It's just like, I guess boring. Like I guess boring. There's just nothing. Like when you drive through, there's a section of Southern California called the Grapevine, which is south of Stockton, but north of LA, kind of that stretch of land.
Sure.
It's like 6, 7, 8 hours of just nothing. It's flat. The roads suck ass. There's nothing.
That sucks.
And so
whose car were you taking?
My mom's.
Okay.
It was. She drives. It was a 2024 Toyota Corolla.
Oh, okay.
So it was really nice.
Yeah. Good smooth car for it.
Yeah, exactly. It did the trip really well. I can only imagine if we would have taken mine or Ona's car.
I was gonna
that
say,
would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been intense.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I think my car could make it. I think Ona's car might have a bit more trouble.
Yeah.
But that car was like $30 to fill up every time. So it was super cheap.
That's the thing is like with Ona's car, since it is like a bigger car, I imagine like it'd probably be a little bit better for the roads, but also it is an older car, which might have a tendency to break down on something like that. Your car is newer, but not built for like that kind of.
It's miles per gallon is so bad.
Yeah,
so bad on fuel.
Yeah.
No, but it was fun. It was just exhausting, and then we went to Venice the next day. Venice Beach. We saw a lot of people, but we saw the skate park, which was really cool.
Nice.
And Ona's never been to LA, so we saw the skate park, which was really cool. We saw Muscle Beach, which was fun to see.
Yep.
My mom,
big, ripped people.
Yeah. It was kind of maybe not sad because like obviously they're still working out, doing their best, but like there was no jacked guys there when we were there. Nobody was like huge.
Nobody was like
like I would like nobody was like my whole body is the width of their bicep. You know, like I didn't see anybody like that there. But like obviously they're still doing their thing because like you're not gonna work out at Muscle Beach if you're not at least like semi into that community. You know.
Yeah.
Looked at all the shops, which was interesting, and then we ate In-N-Out 3 times, and we were there for 4 days.
Dude, In-N-Out's kind of mid.
See, I had that take. And then
what changed your mind? Because I've had their burger once, and I was like, "This shit is straight dog
only
ass."
One time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's the problem. You didn't get the right thing.
Okay.
So when you take the drive down, there's a couple In-N-Outs in Oregon.
Sure.
But we stopped at the one in Medford.
Okay.
And the one in Medford, I literally left that one being like, "Damn, this is some straight ass." I was like, I don't really like In-N-Out is not it.
Yeah.
And then we got it again in LA, and it was so much better in LA because there's 2 different reasons. In-N-Out does this thing to where they locally source their produce.
Okay.
So the farther you get from a produce center of In-N-Out, they use different suppliers.
Sure.
And so when you're in Oregon, they use different suppliers than the people in California do.
Gotcha.
And so it's just like it might be like a quality thing. It might be like the local of it being in LA and that's where it's made. Like that might be why it's better.
Okay,
there.
well, right now that doesn't change my opinion because that's ass if you have to go to a specific location.
But also,
okay,
when I had it the second day, I was like, man, this is so much better. And then I was like, oh yeah, the fries were really bad over there, but these fries are so much better. And then I was eating the burger and I finished the burger and I was like, man, that burger was so much better. And I was like, was I just grumpy eating it in Medford? Like, was I just grumpy?
It's possible.
I was in the car for close to 8 hours at that point, 8 to 9 hours at that point. You know, was I just grumpy?
Very possible.
And then we had it the third time, and it was still as good as the second time. So I was like, I must have just been grumpy when I had it.
Yeah, possible. I was not grumpy when I had mine, and I was.
You sounded grumpy with the way you describe your In-N-Out experience.
Yeah, because I was excited to go there because it's like.
Where'd you have it?
I don't remember, dude. It was fucking like it was a while ago. Anyway, my point is like I was excited to go there, right? Yeah. It's In-N-Out. You see all the commercials for it. You know the 2 guys in the car.
Oh, that's not In-N-Out. That's Sonic.
Is that Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic does this.
I don't know what the
In-N-Out.
We don't
really see In-N-Out commercials.
Anyway. I was like excited to go to In-N-Out because it's like it's one of the places.
Known. Yeah,
it's known.
It's known.
And I tried it, and then my day was ruined.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's like exceptional food. I think it's a good burger. I think it's a good fast. Like I think In-N-Out is just as good as like Dick's Drive-In.
That's okay.
I think I do.
As somebody that holds Dick's Drive-In at the pinnacle of fast food, at the peak, the best to ever do it, I'm truly disgusted that you would make that statement.
I really don't think Dick's is that good. I think Dick's is good. It's a good burger, but it's not like. I don't know. I'm not gonna die if I don't have it. Like,
dude, I will.
Like, if someone were to be like, "Oh man, Dick's is shutting down," I'd be like, "Oh damn, that sucks." And
dude,
then I would move
like,
on.
Fund that place to open back up.
I'd move on with my life
single-handedly.
And that I would do the same thing about In-N-Out. They're like, "Oh no, man, they're gonna close all the In-N-Outs because of so and so reason." That's whatever. Like, I can get a burger anywhere.
Dick's is like it's such a pinnacle spot for me.
Do you know what gives that feeling for me though?
What?
A McDonald's McChicken.
No, that's crazy.
Dude, why?
Because
I'm telling you, you could not get a McChicken anywhere else but McDonald's.
Why?
Dude, well,
obviously it's the McChicken, dude.
You can't get the sandwich, like that type of sandwich anywhere else and it won't be better. Like, it's impossible.
Well,
I hold the McChicken in high regards.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I think if they were to make the McChicken seasonal like the McRib,
Yeah.
it would be held as one of the best fast food sandwiches.
Possibly. I haven't had enough McDonald's to really like have any very specific opinions on it. So I don't really I was talking to one of my friends about this recently where I haven't like you can name me as many fast food places as you want and I guarantee I haven't gone to most of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've tried all of them, like almost all of them. Like Carl's Jr. up there.
Never had it.
It's up there.
I've never had I don't know. If you just name them, I wouldn't. Yeah. Like I could. It's probably faster for me to name the ones that I have been to because the list is significantly shorter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just like fast food has never really been my thing, I guess. Anyway, I do want to go back to the Dick's thing for a second because I love Dick's. I love Dick's Drive-In. It's great staple of Seattle.
It is a staple.
What is your like? If you were to go there, what would be your typical order?
I do. What do they call like the sandwiches? Because there's like
you have the cheese, the ham, the cheeseburger, hamburger, the deluxe, and then the special.
I usually do 2 deluxes.
Okay,
I think is what I do. I do 2 deluxes and an order of fries.
Gotcha. I do 4 cheese, 2 fry.
Really? You don't do the deluxe?
No.
Why?
I'm not a fan of the pickles.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I don't like pickles. I don't like pickles on anything.
On anything?
Yeah, it's just a me thing.
I don't mind pickles.
I don't like the taste of the vinegar, so you know.
I think they're also texturing kind of weird. Like I would never take a bite out of a pickle.
Really?
Yeah, I like them on things, but I would never take a bite out of a pickle.
I know that people like the sensation of it a lot, like the crunch.
Not me.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just like it's a taste thing. It's not even a texture thing. I could get like the texture thing is not a big deal for me. It's just the taste that I can't.
Yeah, I don't mind pickles.
That I can't get past.
They're not bad.
Anyway,
I'm trying to think of anything else we did in California that was like, like the whole reason we went down there was for my Nana's wedding, which was really fun. It was like a big, and like they even said this, which was really funny. Yeah, congrats to her. They even said that like it was like a big reunion of like it was like a pseudo family reunion for both the sides, which was really cool because it was just so much family that comes together. It doesn't usually come together, especially like because we live in Washington and a lot of our family on that side lives in Southern California.
Yeah.
And so I was seeing so many family members that were like. They would start with like they'd say my name to me and like obviously they were adults so they remember more about like my childhood than I do when I lived down there.
Yeah.
But they'd like say my name almost as like a question. And then they'd be like, and then they
Mason?
would, and then they'd follow up, and then they'd follow up, and we'd talk for a little bit. They're like, yeah, last time I saw you, you were like down here, and they're like touching their knees.
Don't even.
And it's one of those
unironically, I hate anytime I hate that line.
Why?
I hate that line. I don't know what people like when somebody's like, the last time I saw you, you were. I'm like, I don't remember that.
Well, and that's kind of like how I felt too. I was like, I don't know, and like there was a couple people who I just like. I'd feel bad might be the wrong phrase because it's not anyone's fault. You know what I mean? That like I don't know these people. It just is the way it is. Yeah. Like we're just so far. It's no one's like fault. But I felt like I was meeting a lot of them for the first time. Is how it felt.
That's
which was really interesting because there were so many family members that were like have been in the family for a long time. But I just don't talk to them very often. Like even my like, what would you? I mean, do you just call them your uncle, your grandparents' brother?
That's a good question.
Because we just say like uncle this, uncle that, like when we refer to them anyways.
I do the same thing.
And so there was like a couple of them who I like just didn't interact with all the time, and it was like really cool to like to see all those people again.
Yeah.
But then they see me as an adult and like talking like that, and then I also had a lot of like, I kind of put this on myself, so I wasn't like. This isn't me complaining about it, I guess is the phrase I would use, right? But I had a lot of, like, pseudo-responsibility the day of the wedding.
Okay. What does that entail?
Yeah, like, so I was in charge of the music.
Dude, that's like a big deal at a wedding.
Yes.
That's a huge deal at a wedding.
So, okay, let me lay it down for you.
Sure.
So I was in charge of the music, and that was supposed to be my only responsibility day of.
Sure.
Was the music.
Okay.
And... it was supposed to be me and my cousin Jacob. We were supposed to be in charge of the music.
Okay.
We were going to set up the speakers because they bought 2 big JBL speakers, and we were going to do that. A couple days before, they're like, "Oh, you're going to set up the microphone and get people ready for the speeches during the reception." I'm like, "Cool, that's not too big of a deal. I can handle that.
That's not that bad."
And then I get there, And it's just chaos in the morning. They're like, you need to set this up. You need to put the photo booth up. You need to do this. And I was like, dude, you just tell me where to be and I'll do it. And I was like going at like Mach 5 trying to get this stuff set up.
What the fuck?
And so because I got there like an hour early to help set things up. But I was supposed to help set up the music portion and everything else was like supposed to be handled. At least was my understanding.
Sure.
And so I get there and I'm like doing a bunch of setup and I'm like stressing because like I don't know if I'm going to get it all done. And then I'm like, oh, cool. I think we're done. Like, I think I have all my part, like, settled. And then I, like, walk to where the reception or where the ceremony is supposed to be. And they're like, who has the rings? And I was like, dude, why do you think I know who has the rings? I have no idea who has the rings. Dude. And then, like, I'm like, do I need to go find who has the rings? And they're like, someone does. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was sure. And okay. So I'm like, I go to like find the rings and give the rings to the ring bearer who is, bless his soul.
Probably a child.
No, bless his soul. Very old man who cannot walk. And so
Gotcha.
I need to go find the rings for him. Need to make sure he has the rings.
Yeah.
Need to make sure he doesn't forget he has the rings. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Danny, the groom, who my nana is marrying, he goes, oh, I wanted to record when people walk down the aisle. Can you do that? And I was like, dude, I guess so. Like I'm already doing everything else. And he gives me this like old like tape recorder camera to set up for when people are walking down the aisle. That was super easy though. I just have to push record and then stop the recording.
Yeah.
And then like I had to kind of tell like where I like every once in a while someone would be like, oh, can you send the camera person here? I was like, why don't you just go tell the camera person that they need to be over there?
Yeah.
And so I was just doing a lot of running around in the morning, and then reception comes around, and I'm like, cool, just the music.
Yeah.
Getting the microphone ready for speeches and just the music. The wedding planner goes, do you know that you're introducing the wedding party when they walk in? And I was like, no, I don't even know all of their names.
Dude.
Like I didn't say that to her.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I didn't know that. Is that something I'm doing? And she was like, yeah. Like. And I was like, I need a list of their names. Like, I need someone to give me a list of their names, or else I won't be able to do it. And
that's
so
insane.
She gives me a list of their names. I'm like trying to introduce the wedding party, but the microphone doesn't get any louder. It's like really quiet, and people can't
You're, like,
hear it.
Screaming into the microphone.
And I'm like trying to get everyone's attention but they're all talking, and so you can't hear it. And it's just chaos in my mind. It's probably wasn't actually that chaotic in the moment, but like. It was super chaotic in my mind.
Where was Ona during all this?
So, well, she was just a person, like in the like hanging out in the wedding. Like she was with my sister who had a baby, and so like she was like helping with that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like it wasn't her job. You know what I mean? Like it was supposed to be me and my cousin.
Sure. Yeah.
I love my cousin. I do. But he knows that like. I kind of like to be, for lack of a better word, be like in control of those things when they're my responsibility. Yeah. So he was just like my like second hand. Like I would delegate him to do things. And so like he was really helpful in that regard. But like he knows that I like to do that, and so he doesn't like take charge on any of that extra stuff.
He's not gonna like get in the way.
Exactly. And so like I felt like I was doing a lot, and then eventually like the playlist was going, and I was like, Jay, you sit down and do the music. I'm gonna go dance. And I like just walked away and went and danced. No, it ended up being really fun. I like put like that's why I said like pseudo responsibility, because I put a lot more pressure on myself than was needed.
Yeah.
I did have a lot to do. It felt like
in a situation like that, I'm like the second somebody asks me to do something that is not my initial job, I'll either be like no, and if they put it on me, then I'm going to leave.
Well, and that was kind of like the thing is that I was
somebody else do it.
I had an initial job, then that became 2, and then day of it became 3.
Yeah.
You know, and it just felt like I was doing a lot, but it wasn't like it was nothing that wasn't hard. Like I wasn't the wedding planner. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't putting people in places. I was like I had a couple things that I could do on my own. Yeah. And as long as they got done, everything was fine. Yeah. And then I hit a point I was like, I'm overthinking it. Like it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Like everyone's having a great time.
The wedding was a success. Yeah.
You know, I did have a gentleman come up, and he's like, oh, like, are you the one controlling the music? I was like, oh yeah, like they put a playlist together. They being the bride and groom, like they put a playlist together, and me and my cousin added some stuff to it, and I've kind of been queuing up songs as it goes on to kind of keep the vibes going. He goes, dude, you're doing a really good job. Like you really know how to like go from one song to the next and like tailor to the energy of the room. I was like, oh, thank you. Like it's just Spotify. I was like, I'm just queuing songs. Yeah. It was really fun though.
Nice.
We weren't there for very long, but yeah, right. It felt good.
Felt good.
And then I ended up leaving early because Ona and my cousin like just weren't feeling super great because there was an open bar from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock at night, so people were drunk,
like hammered.
People were drunk.
Yeah.
And so we left a little early. I wasn't super drunk because I was doing a lot of running around, so I was like drinking. I was drinking with like whiskey and
pounding
Cokes.
beers and like running around.
I was drinking I think I had like 4 or 5 whiskey and Cokes within those like 6 hours, which sounds like a lot, but
I mean, but like it isn't. Most of it's watered down.
But like people
probably.
were taking top shelf shots. People were doing crazy shit.
Dude, I just I can't bring myself to drink like that anymore.
Dude, it was wild. I feel like. I at least like the way I envision it. Maybe it's just because that's what my family does too. It's like after you hit that like 30-year-old, 40-year-old mark, you can just get hammered every day if you really wanted to.
I suppose so, dude. I just like had one bad hangover, and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
I haven't really had a terrible hangover. I've had bad ones, but I haven't had like ones that have made me want to stop.
The worst hangover I ever had was, oh man, this is pretty. It's funny. I mean, it's bad, but it's funny. Because it's like, you know, it's not a huge deal anymore. Our friends Emilio and Madison were moving from Bellingham back down to Seattle, and so I was like sad because I was still going to be in Bellingham finishing college, and they weren't going to be.
Yeah, and that was after
like around
me. Or that was after I already left.
Yeah, that was after you already left, and Emilio and Madison were like the first people that I like really became friends with in Bellingham. So I went to their like going away party. Yeah. Like they had a party at their apartment. We all went there, like had a bunch of drinks. I got very, very, very drunk. Went home, like audibly sobbed for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then went to bed at like midnight and then woke up at 3 a.m. and my head hurt so badly. I got up, threw up, went back to bed, and fell asleep for another like 2 hours.
The funniest part of that story is that it was 12 o'clock. It wasn't 2. It wasn't like 4. You went to bed at 12.
Yeah.
That means you were drunk, like probably drinking from like, I don't know, what would you say, like 6?
I had to have been drinking from. No, I think people were off of work earlier. So I think it was around like 5 or 6, somewhere around there.
Yeah, you just started early, ended early.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. Anyway, before we transition, I need to talk about my trip to the ER because this is a momentous, an insane moment for me because I haven't been to the ER since I was a little kid. Like I haven't gone into a hospital for my own like issues in years because I'm the peak of health, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
you wear the Apple Watch, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I think I talked to you a little bit about it. So the whole thing was, I had like a bit of abdominal pain one night, like just a little bit, not too bad, nothing too bad. I didn't think much of it, and I was like, I'm gonna sleep on it. If it's worse tomorrow, I'll schedule a doctor's appointment. So I slept on it, and then the next day, it definitely hurt more, and I was like, all right. So I scheduled the doctor's appointment and didn't think much of it, and then I went to work, and throughout my workday, it kept getting worse, and I was like, all right. I'm leaving. So I left work early and I went to the ER and they got me surprised. Like they helped me out surprisingly fast. Like I got there at just the right time because as soon as like I checked myself in, like several like crowds of people came in afterwards, like needing like emergency issues. Whatever. And in my head, the kind of pain that I was experiencing, I was worried about like 2 different things mostly. I didn't think it was going to be my gallbladder. I thought maybe it's appendicitis. I was like, maybe my appendix is dying.
About to explode.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was like, it doesn't hurt as bad as how people make appendicitis sound.
People say appendicitis hurts.
Yeah.
Like bad.
So in my head, I was like, maybe it's not appendicitis because I don't think it hurts as bad as people are describing it to be.
Yeah.
But the other thing in my head was I was like, maybe it's a hernia.
Yeah.
Because I lift a lot of heavy stuff at work. And while I do lift with proper form, it is possible that every once in a while I get kind of lazy and I'm like, whatever, it's spine day, I guess.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, no, I mean, Yeah,
with flexibility.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was a thing where I was like, it's possible. I was fully prepared for it to be a moment where I went into emergency surgery because of something that was like fucked up internally.
Just in case, worst case scenario type shit.
Yeah. Worst case scenario. I got mentally prepped, and I was like a-okay with that fact. I was like, it's gonna happen, and it's okay. I'm chill about it. They did all the tests on me. They did blood work. They had me pee in a cup. They did a CT scan.
Wow.
The blood jar was interesting because they drew my blood, but then they left like the IV in my arm.
Weird. Oh, like not plugged in.
Yeah. They left the thing in my arm because they were like, if we need to put any more liquids in you or take anything out of you,
I mean that makes sense.
We don't want to have to stick you again.
Yeah, that makes
we
sense.
can just pull it out of this tube. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I've never had a CT scan before.
Is that where you like go in?
Yeah,
to, like the spinny thing?
Sort of. They have the MRI and then the CT. I think.
Oh, MRI is what I'm thinking. I don't know what a CT is.
Anyway, CT is very similar. It's like you lay on a bed and it moves, but you don't go into like the tunnel. Instead, it's just like a donut and you go through it. But I'm not exactly sure. I'm not going to claim to know how CT scans work, and I was like kind of half listening when she was explaining it to me. Yeah, but she was like, I was freaked out.
It's one of those things like, also it's like, do I really need to know?
Yeah.
Like,
I was laying on the bed, and she was like, have you ever done a CT scan before? And I was like, no, I've never had one of these. And she was like, okay, well, I'm going to, I don't know if some of it's like thermal imaging or whatever, but she was like, we need to put this liquid, we're going to like put it in your IV, and we're going to put this stuff inside you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to heat up your blood.
That's scary sounding.
And I was like, okay. And she was like, don't worry, it won't hurt, but you're going to heat up so rapidly that it'll feel like you're peeing your pants. And I was like,
that's a crazy thing.
And
to
I was
just
like,
imagine feeling.
Dude, and I was like, okay. And in my head, I was like, I mean, if this is modern medicine, this has got to be a surreal feeling to me. But I trust this lady. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about.
Did you pee your pants?
I didn't pee my pants, but sure enough, she was like, all right, here we go. And she like presses the button. I'm like going up through the donut, whatever. And she's like, all right, the liquid's going in your arm. And I was like, okay. And sure enough, like 30 seconds later, I was like, I think I'm peeing. And she was like, don't worry, you're not peeing.
Wait, you said that out loud?
Yeah. I was like, I think I'm peeing. She was
Do you think she's like seen people pee? Because the way I imagine it, right, is that if I feel like I'm peeing, I might as well pee.
That's also okay. The way that I like envisioned it in my mind, right? Have you ever had? I've had this like happen maybe a couple times, and they were memorable enough that like I was also frustrated enough that I remembered it. But I've had like one of those half awake, half asleep dreams where I am going to the bathroom, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go piss, and then by the time that it's too late and I'm fully awake, I'm like, dude,
you pee your pants?
There's piss.
I know the state of dream you're talking about.
Like,
I've had it, but I can't say that I do, because I don't know. I guess maybe in my dreams I just don't pee.
Maybe. But that's the thing, is that it was like it's in between.
Yeah, that's like a physical dream of mine. Yeah. Like when I daydream, I think, man, what if I never had to pee again? So maybe it's like that just transcends into my subconscious. Dude. Maybe it's transcended into my subconscious mind to where like it permeates into my dreams to where whenever I dream, I just never have to pee.
Maybe. But it did, it happened.
But I'm sure that happens. You know what I mean?
I think the last time it happened was like in high school.
Which is, I'm not like judging you for it. I'm just saying like I understand.
I was so frustrated by it.
Oh yeah.
That like I vividly remember it.
Yeah, I would have been pissed.
Imagine like it felt so real. I was literally like in the dream. I was standing over my toilet like,
I just imagine
I'm gonna pee, and then the second I started peeing, I could feel my legs getting wet, and I like.
That's crazy. Because I just can't. I can't picture a world. No, please let me. I can't picture a world. I can't picture a world where I know I went to bed the night before, and I know I haven't gotten up yet, but I'm peeing my pants because I'm peeing in a dream. Like I can't. But dude, I know I said I understood, but the more that you talk about it, the more I realize I just don't understand. I really just don't.
It's like, do you not have like super like hyper realistic dreams.
Oh, I do. Like I know what I'm saying. I get the state of dream you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I've never had to pee in those dreams. I is like
really
the way I think about it. Yeah. Let me explain something.
Okay,
to
maybe
you, right?
okay, maybe that's just a me thing.
No,
or like maybe it's
Can
some
I ask you a question about it then before we tangent back to your health experience?
Yeah.
When you wake up, do you really have to pee? Like, do you have to get out of bed to go pee?
No, it's like
or
one
like,
of the.
Could you lay there for like 3 hours and be fine?
I don't know if I could lay there for 3 hours.
Yeah,
it is one of the first things that I do when I get up, but it is not out of like an urgency to pee. It's more out of just like this will benefit me for the sake of not having to do it later.
When I was in,
it's part of my
like
wake up routine.
Middle school and high school, I would like even if I were to wake up like. I would sleep until like 1 o'clock, right, in the afternoon.
Sure.
Just because like I stayed up late, I did whatever. Like sometimes I would just sleep in that late.
Yeah.
But other days when I would wake up at like 9 on the weekends, I would just sit in bed until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, not even get up.
Bad days like
but
that.
Like I've never, but I very rarely have the feeling when I wake up that I like have to go pee.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
And so. That's why I feel like from a half asleep dream, I would just never have the feeling of needing to pee.
You know what's interesting is to me it's interesting that something like that would happen in high school because I drink infinitely more water now before I go to bed than I used to when I was in high school. Anyway,
oh yeah, back to the blood warming.
I did not pee my pants. I thought I peed my pants, but I did not.
Was it a crazy feeling?
It was insane.
Feel your body warm up that way?
It was crazy, dude.
Wow.
I was like, it wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like like you know how when you get too hot, you're sweaty and you're like, I don't feel good.
Yeah. You just feel like gross.
I just felt like I felt my body heat up, and I was like, I feel so relaxed right now.
Weird, almost like you're in a sauna.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy. It was crazy. Anyway, I did not pee my pants. They did all the tests, whatever.
I just keep thinking about if I was in the position of the lady, of the medical professional that does that test, of just how funny I would find it every time. Because odds are, if they've never done a CT scan before, they say that every time. I think I'm peeing. You're not peeing. You're not doing it.
Maybe that's like the benefit of working there is you just get to. That's your entertainment for the day.
Okay, you say that, but. Medical professionals and ER specifically see some pretty crazy ass shit.
Oh yeah, no, they have to
I could never.
When I was talking to them, they were like,
I could never.
This is one of the tamest things we've had to deal with.
That's what I'm saying.
I
could never.
Well, I'm glad that I can make your job easier.
Shout out to those people who like do that because that is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I cannot imagine being in a situation.
Yeah.
Even like. I wouldn't even want to do plastic surgery.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean. Like I cannot imagine.
I can't imagine either.
Even like nursing, no, I'm not about that.
Anyway, I go back to the little like room that I'm in or whatever that they had me like stationed in. And the doctor comes in maybe like 10 minutes later, and he's like, "All right, well, we got all your test results back," and he's like, "And you have this super rare thing." Called epiploic appendigitis. And I was like, well, what the hell is that? And they were like, well, we wanted to rule out the obvious stuff first. It's not your gallbladder, it's not a hernia, it's not your appendix. What it is you have these like fat reservoirs, I think is what he called them, that are attached to your colon, and I'm pretty sure everybody has it, I guess. But he was like, and it got all knotted up, and it's not getting oxygen, which is why it hurts, because it's like it's
like dying.
Yeah, it's got a lack of air.
Yeah.
And he was like, and in my head, my first initial thought was, this is crazy. Like, modern medicine is insane. The fact that they've had me here for like 2 hours and they were able to tell me exactly what it was. I was like, that's pretty impressive. And then he hit me with the next bit of news, where he was like, it'll fix itself in like 2 weeks to a month. We can't treat it, but we'll prescribe you Vicodin. I was like, never mind.
You didn't get Vicodin?
No, I did get the Vicodin, but I was like,
you're like,
you tell me you can't fix this, dude.
Yeah.
I just gotta take Vicodin to not be in pain for the next like 2 weeks.
Like it's possible to happen again?
I mean, yeah, they said it was possible to happen again, but since it's not more likely for me than anyone else.
Oh,
like they were like, we never see this, so it probably won't happen again, but it is one of those things that for whatever reason the human body just decides like, fuck you.
It's time.
Yeah. It's time to be in pain.
Yeah.
So That was my time at the ER.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was
didn't pee your pants.
Didn't pee my pants. Didn't have appendicitis.
Yeah, didn't need to go into surgery.
Didn't need to go into surgery.
Good. Yeah, well.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. And then I went to I went to the doctor like a couple weeks later, got my physical, and they did more blood work, like a full blood panel.
I really need to do that.
Dude, they did a full blood panel for me, and in my head I was like, there's got to be something wrong. I got to have like high cholesterol or something.
We're so young. Like the odds of that we're in the stages of messing ourselves up when we're 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Whereas like so it's not going to pull up right away. They might be like, "Oh, you're kind of fat." You know what I mean? Like they might tell you that. Like we're not, I don't think like the odds of us having high cholesterol at this point or having high blood pressure or anything like that are pretty low.
I'm no longer underweight, which is nice.
Wow.
I haven't gone to the doctor in like a while. Like when they had me in there, they were like
skinny from what I understand.
What's that?
You were pretty lean, right? When like back in high school? Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty skinny. I was always underweight. My doctors always told me that I was underweight. And I hadn't, when they were doing the physical, they were like, yeah, it looks like we haven't had you back here for a physical since 2019. And I was like,
oh yeah, mine's been way.
Yep. I was like, yeah, that sounds like it's been a while. Yeah. And then, so they did all the standard stuff and they were like, stand on the scale. I clocked in at 180.
Why, was that surprising?
I was shocked. I was like, holy shit. And they were like, yeah, you're a good healthy weight. And I was like, look at me go. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I haven't been to the doctor in a really long time, but I've weighed about 215 pounds since like 7th grade.
Damn.
And I was not. I'm like maybe a foot and a couple inches taller than I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I was
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah. So you're a little taller than me.
Maybe not a foot and a couple inches. I don't think I was 4 something in
sure.
7th grade, but now that I say that out loud. Little small boy.
Yeah. You must have had the most insane growing pains.
No, dude, like I had 2 big growth spurts, but I've like weighed the same for a really long time. Sure. I've gotten taller, and so like
you're more filled out.
Yeah,
like it fits your body
I've
better.
always been like broad and like pretty big.
Sure.
But I've never like felt like fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you're not.
No, I'm a little overweight, but I'm not fat. I remember stepping on the Wii like balance board for Wii Fit, and it being like making my Wii a little chubby, and I was like, dude, that's fucked up.
Dude,
I want to play a game. I don't want it to tell me I'm fat.
That thing is so inaccurate, but it is really fun. Have you seen the thing? Have you seen the video of the girl who like stands on it and it says obese, and it plays like the sad little horn, and she goes, Mom!
Yeah, dude, that's how I felt when I was younger. Is I would step on that thing and it'd be like fat, and I'm like, man,
dude, come on.
It would say overweight. It wouldn't say fat.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole point. Is like it's meant to get you more fit or whatever.
Yeah.
But
dude, it's a video game. It's not gonna do
that's what I'm saying. Like I had no. Like even if it was like a taller step up, like board, it would do way more. But I've always been like that. But I haven't been to the doctor in a really long time.
Sure.
And I'm sure they would like. They can always tell you can be healthier, I guess, unless you're like peak or whatever.
I mean, I did tell I went in there and I was like, I do smoke like almost every day.
Oh no, I mean, like, you need to be honest with them. Like you need to.
And they were like, that's good to know. And the doctor was like, as a medical professional, I do, it is my job to inform you that obviously inhaling anything other than air is not necessarily beneficial. And I was like, I hear you. I know, and I
understand you're a medical professional, and I understand,
and I understand. I get it. I was like, and thank you for telling me. It is helpful. But the balance that she did make me feel good about it afterwards, because she was like, you do kind of have it balanced out based on the fact that it seems like you don't drink like ever. And I was like, yeah, I haven't drank in a while. I don't like drinking.
That's reasonable.
So anyway,
you have it balanced out. It's crazy.
Take her medical degree.
Hey.
No.
Take it away.
Take it away. Yeah, so that was my time at the doctor. Oh yeah, and then I got my full blood panel back, and I'm in perfect health.
Nice, love it. Yeah, if you haven't been to the doctor in a long time, go to the doctor.
Yeah, go to the doctor. Go get your physical. I know you're scared.
That's what I was gonna say. It's one of those things that like seems scary, but it's literally like, it's just you're talking to an individual that knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah,
like that's really what it is, right?
Honestly, like the needles was what I was most worried about.
Really?
Like they were like you're due for a couple vaccines, and we also need to do blood work. And I looked her dead in the eye, and I was like, you can do one or the other, but you're not doing both today.
It's crazy that like people are more afraid of dentists than they are the doc, or that are more. Some people are more afraid of doctors than they are dentists.
Dude, I don't mind the dentist.
I don't mind the dentist either, but I'd much rather go to the doctors than the dentist. But I've been to the dentist way more times the past couple of years than I've been to the doctors.
In my adult life, I would much rather go to the when I was younger, I used to not like the dentist, but that was because I had a bunch of cavities as a kid, and so they always, fucking filled them and gave me the shot, and I hated that shit.
I was usually pretty good with cavities.
As an adult, I've gone to the dentist many a time, and every single time they're like, looks good. And they send me on their way.
Them. Yeah, and then you're done.
I'm like, sounds great. I love having people clean my teeth for me. It's like, I just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't mind the dentist either.
Yeah. Anyway, unless there's anything you have or that you want to talk about, I do have something that I've been saving for like.
I have one
not
more
necessarily
thing.
This episode, but just something for us to talk about in general.
I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
I've said it a couple times. Like I work at like a school, for kids that need extra help and stuff like that.
Sure.
And a couple weeks ago, you saw it. A couple weeks ago, I had like a really bad scratch.
Yeah.
Like down my whole face. It was like down my left side of my cheek, down onto my neck.
Yeah. I do remember this.
And it was just very jarring. Because I would like we went to go hang out, and like I'm not gonna preface it with like, oh, I got like that's not I don't need to talk about it if it doesn't come up or whatever.
Sure.
But like people would like ask, they're like, oh, what happened? And I was like, yeah, this kid, nonverbal, wanted to go to the playground, had to go home, had to go to the bathroom to get changed, was not happy with me, scratched my face.
Yeah.
Like just like right down my face. And everyone was like, oh man, that's so bad. Like I've never seen it so bad. But it like, I don't know, man. I was so unfazed by it in the moment that I was just like, dude, you just go to the bathroom. It's not that hard.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You got to be a pretty strong soldier for that. Because to me, it's like, I don't think getting scratched is like that bad. Like to me, I think it would probably be fine. But the problem that I have, and this is like, it's definitely not just a me thing, but children are fucking dirty.
Yeah. No, especially
and like young children
really
are dirty, and their hands are gross, and I don't want them to fucking touch
100%. Yeah. Like this kid, I've never seen this kid wash his hands. You know what I mean,
dude?
And so it's bad.
You got poop scratched.
Dude, I know. You think that's not one of the first things I thought of? I literally got scratched. I got the kid on the bus, and then I went to I was gonna go on my lunch, and I was like, hey, like I just got scratched. I'm gonna take like 5 minutes in the bathroom to clean it, and then I'm gonna go on my lunch. So I'm gonna come back from my lunch late. And they're like, cool, whatever, go do your thing. And then I literally took like a pump or two of hand sanitizer and like slapped it on my face, and I was like,
yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine you probably freaked out. And that shit does not feel good.
I could have cleaned it normally. Like I really could have.
Sure.
But like I was just so like ready to go to lunch that I was like, I took some hand sanitizer and just like rubbed it over my scratches, and I was like, oh
yeah, I'm sure that was the best option.
And then like driving home, I could like feel the scratch on the seatbelt and everything because it was on my chest.
Don't they have like Neosporin?
They definitely do. That's why I said it was not the best option. But I really just wanted to get the fuck out of there. And so
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. That's fair.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I got scratched really bad.
Wow.
It literally like it was like 3 fingers down my face onto my neck. It was bad.
Poop scratch.
Yeah, it was really gross. I agree. It was really gross.
Yeah, dude.
I showered when I got home.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I should shower every day when I get home, but sometimes I don't.
I don't blame you. I don't shower every day.
I should though. I really get like spit on sometimes.
My skin dries out too fast to shower every day.
There's this kid. I'm not gonna go like, you don't shower every day?
No.
Oh.
My skin is too like sensitive.
I really probably should like not, because my skin gets really dry now too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. Maybe as far as I'm aware, it's fine to shower every other day. Like it doesn't matter.
No. I mean, if you don't smell, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like, and you don't wash your hair or anything either, so it's like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I do very rarely because obviously I'm a little lacking.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't need to wash your hair. So and like I don't like my hair feeling greasy.
Sure.
Yeah,
that is
so like
one thing
I wash my hair once a week.
Yeah.
But I don't. But like I like getting it wet.
Sure.
In the shower.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Nice. The end.
I got scratched.
Nice.
Yeah.
Watch
a kid pee. I didn't watch a kid pee. A kid has like problems with like with like undressing and stuff like that. And so he was like doing that, and then he peed all over a bunch of like occupational therapy equipment. And like it was just so sad because like he peed all over a lot of this really expensive equipment. It was really sad, and I had to tell the person
Sounds like something I would do.
I had to tell the person like whose equipment it was. I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Like, they just peed all over your equipment. I'm so sorry."
I think if I despise someone enough, I'd like pee on something of theirs.
You're peeing on your own shit, dude.
I mean,
apparently.
I don't despise myself though.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Anyway, one of my friends sent me. I thought it would be fun for us to talk about because one of my friends sent me this like post that has several hypotheticals and questions.
Oh yes.
And I think it'd be fun for us to kind of go through them and like see what we think about it.
Okay.
And some of them are pretty ridiculous and some of them are pretty funny. There are also a lot that are like very specific to certain fandoms. So like if you don't know it, like no big deal. This one I do really like. Obviously you've seen all of Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes. Have you watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay. The question is there, and like we should talk about this. Is there literally any way the gang from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia could kill Darth Maul?
Yes.
Okay. But like, who do you? Why?
Why?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I can't. In my head, I feel like I have such a hard time.
You can't find a scenario.
I can't find the scenario, but I feel like to me it would.
Yeah.
I feel like Mac would kill him.
It's just one of those like things to where it's like the Doctor Strange like multiverse, like imagining all the different scenarios that can happen.
Yeah.
The variability with the gang from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is so high that literally anything could happen and Darth Maul could die as a result.
That's a good point.
Literally it could be that they make like a new sewer food, like Charlie makes like a new sewer food and like Darth Maul just eats it on accident and fucking keels over and dies. I mean that's like a scenario in my mind that could play out and it happens.
I guess that's fair.
They start going crazy for some reason, like Matt gets all roided up and like whatever, and like they like throw him and he's just upset and then he like just kills Darth Maul with like one punch.
I mean, the thing that I think in my head the way that I see it is, I mean, the It's Always Sunny gang, they're very frequently in the show like arguing because they just they're that kind of family, right?
Yeah.
And I guess in my head the way that I see the scenario play out, at least, or the way that I would like it to, is in the movie when he like makes his presentation and he comes out and he like ignites his double lightsaber and he's getting ready to fight Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. But instead, obviously, it's Always Sunny gang. And in my head, I feel like it's something where, like, I don't know, Charlie's there and he's like, what the hell is this guy's problem, man? And then he, like, I don't know, spills a bucket of paint on him and it, like, gets in his eyes and, like, some
that's
insane
what I mean,
shit.
like, by the variability. I could also see, like, Dennis is one of them, right? Like, is his name Dennis? Like, the egotistical
Charlie,
brother?
Mac, Dennis. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I could also see like another world where Dennis,
because he's like the American Psycho dude. That guy's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Where Dennis like sides with Darth Maul for a little bit, and then like towards the end of the episode, because I'm thinking in like It's Always Sunny terms, like towards the end of the episode, Dennis like just backstabs him. He goes, "I was always gonna come back to the bar," and like like that kind of shit happen. There's just so many different scenarios. I think Darth Maul has less variability, but the It's Always Sunny gang can do anything.
True, that's fair. Okay, the next one that I also liked was Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Yes.
Is now a youngling in the Jedi Temple during Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Can he beat Anakin?
No.
Okay. Really?
Do we agree?
I don't. Why?
Well, the way I think about it is that if he is a youngling in the Jedi Temple, is he being like ripped out of like Home Alone and being put in as a youngling, or has he been a youngling his whole life?
I would assume that he's a youngling his whole life.
So
my assumption
is he's getting murked like everyone else. He didn't grow up in New York.
No, but but here's the thing. I think the question has like a pretense of like, or like the assumption is that, since he is a Jedi youngling, he can like tap into the Force. He does know how to use a lightsaber to a certain extent, right? And maintains the same like trickery and trap knowledge that he had in Home Alone.
I just think
so. Do you think that he would set a series? Like him as a little youngling Jedi would be able to set a series of traps that would like defeat Anakin?
No.
Really?
Because I think if you take it from the perspective of like he's like a youngling, but he's like has the same like skill set essentially. There was a lot of talented younglings who just got destroyed.
Dude, what do you mean talented?
Dude,
we didn't even see them die on screen.
But that's what I mean. Is it's like the whole point of them being like the younglings that are training to be the Force is that they were gifted in some capacity.
Sure.
Right, and so you would think that there's at least one other youngling that's like just as smart as Kevin McAllister, and he got murked.
No,
just like him.
But I mean that's the thing is that there's no like. Sure, like you can.
Does he have setup time? Does he know Anakin is coming?
Sure, I would assume. Let's say he does have setup time. Right. Let's say he hears the news. Anakin is coming to kill the younglings.
Second room.
Yeah.
Like the first room.
And all the younglings are like scared for their life. They're like, we're gonna die. It's gonna be over. And Kevin McAllister's like, let me set some traps.
I don't think he has the leader mentality to take that over.
He booby trapped a whole house
for himself.
Sure.
But like, if everyone else is freaking out, he's dying. He's falling into the pressure and freaking out.
No,
yes.
Dude. What? Oh, like. Say it's just him.
Like everyone else died in the other room and he was like taking a shit. So he's there. Dude, I don't think so.
Damn.
I'm like not convinced enough.
I feel like I want there to be a world where like Anakin's like he's kind of a fucking moron in that movie.
I go back to like the variability, like the random, like the not random, but the how I was quantifying the other question of like the variability. Is that I don't think Kevin McAllister can do enough, like just in like I just don't think he can ever do enough to stop Anakin from just killing him.
I mean, maybe, dude.
I just don't think enough. Because is Kevin McAllister? Does he have the? Will he kill Anakin? Is he willing to murder Anakin?
I would assume.
Because if he's not willing to murder Anakin, he's not winning.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll concede. I will concur with you that it is. Yeah. Probably not.
Okay. But I think he could, if he had prep time. I think he could put up a fight.
Okay. The Penguins of Madagascar have 72 hours and the U.S. military budget to find Bin Laden. Do they do it?
I want to hear you go first.
Okay. I think they could do it in less than 72 hours.
Yeah. No, I'm actually right on the same page.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of cartoon that, like, their stupidity and the amount of hijinks that they get into, as well as the knowledge that they have with a U.S. military budget.
I was going to say, I feel like they don't even need the budget. Like, I feel like it's one of those things to where it's like, you give them one plane. And like
they crash the plane into the building he's in, and they're like, "Well, boys, we gotta find out where Bin Laden is."
That's what I'm saying.
And then the one penguin that can't talk, he's like, "Ah." You know?
Yeah. No, I think they don't even need the budget, and they could do it.
Just give him a plane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Give him a plane. Pull a plane out of Rico's mouth. And like they'll be fine.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot that there was a whole thing that he just like
Swiss Army knife like in his tummy.
He just like keeps everything in his stomach.
Yeah.
Man. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it'll be.
You know what? You're right. Yeah. I think we can
pull
both
a Bin Laden tracker out of his mouth and it's fine.
I do.
Like it's all good.
It's like
they pull it out and they go, Rico, have you been watching this stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like shows where he is and stuff. have you been watching this?
There's this video that I really like of somebody animated it, and it's like Goku's like facing off with someone, but you can't quite see who it is. And Goku's like, "You're supposed to be the strongest enemy. I'll have you know I'm the strongest character in fiction." And then it finally reveals who it is, and it's Inspector Gadget, and he's like, "Go, Gadget, kill Goku," and then Goku explodes.
That's awesome.
And to me, that's like the type of energy that the Penguins would bring towards Bin Laden.
Yeah, a lot of these questions are like, I keep using like the variability. Like, can the Penguins of Madagascar get away with enough shit to find Bin Laden? Like, can enough shit happen to where it happens? And I yes.
Yeah, I think so. Gordon Ramsay can breathe underwater. Can he fix the chum bucket?
Oh. I'm trying to think if, because he doesn't fix every restaurant on that show.
Yeah.
Right. So is the
but
vision?
That is also a lot of not. That is a lot in part because of like the people who own the restaurant.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the vision that he is like employed by the Chum Bucket to fix it. Like he's gonna be there for a prolonged amount of time to fix it, or is it like it's his reality show? He's there for 2 weeks and he might not fix it.
I would like to believe that it's under the idea that it's for his reality show, like it's for Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah,
he shows up
and
it's a Kitchen Nightmare. You don't think so?
No.
You think Plankton would be like, would not listen to him?
No, because it's one of those things where a lot of those shows on like Kitchen Nightmares are like semi-popular in their community because they're local. Whereas like the Chum Bucket just does not get business.
Yeah, but that's like the
like how do you draw people to the Chum Bucket? Like because he doesn't do like advertising or anything like that. He just does the menu and the cooking.
No,
like,
he does advertising.
But like how is he going to get people to the Chum Bucket?
He like I don't know, but that's like part of the show. Is like in the show he will be like, now that I've given you this new menu and shown you how to like cook these new things, I want to make sure that you have a first successful
they do like
night.
a reopening. Yeah. They do like
so
a
they're
reopening.
like, so he's like, I like invited a bunch of these people. They know that I'm here. They're excited to come try this food. So a bunch of people are going to show up, right?
Does he have an audience in the sea?
Possibly.
No, but like, do you think that like
yes
he does? Like he could draw in Bikini Bottom customers? I just don't think so. I think he would have to completely revamp the menu, and it wouldn't be the Chum Bucket anymore. You're not selling chum.
I mean, yeah. You're not.
Yeah. So it's like I don't think he could do it to the Chum Bucket, but I think he could do it to any other restaurant in Bikini Bottom.
But that's the thing, right? Is like in my head, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I've watched SpongeBob, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of the reason that people strongly dislike chum or like the chum in the Chum Bucket is because it's like, you know, Plankton's a scientist. He just like puts random chemicals and shit.
It's
in
essentially
that
a front.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, what if Gordon has like the necessary tool? Like he has the tools to take the actual ingredients.
Yeah.
And like, what if he can make something nice?
Is he making it out of chum? Because isn't chum just like chopped up fish? Am I lying?
You might not be wrong.
So I really
Google break.
I really think that he'd have to move away from the chum in his menu, and I don't know if Plankton would be willing to do that. I'm pretty sure chum is just like gross, like mashed up fish.
Okay, well, this wasn't helpful. I looked up what is chum, and it said a close friend, a pal. What is chum in food? Fish or meat cut into small pieces and thrown from a boat to attract larger fish.
Yeah, so it's all bait.
Yes, but I mean, like,
are we just like getting rid of the like he can make the menu whatever he wants? Is that just the concept?
No.
I'm down to embrace that.
I mean, sure, but in my head, here's what I'm thinking about. Right, the implication is that it like chum is fish and meat that is chopped up very small.
Yes.
In order to become chum.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So my assumption is that Plankton has those like that fish and meat prior to just chopping it up and like throwing it into.
But he's selling it to fish.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like
if that didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's like the whole theory that Krabby Patties are like made out of crab meat.
Yeah, and I would believe that. That's why you don't see any other fucking crabs in that show.
I know.
I don't think he could do it. I think here, can I run you through what would happen?
Sure.
Gordon Ramsay comes in.
He can breathe
Plankton
underwater.
is super willing.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to fix the Chum Bucket. I'm done with these experiments. We're gonna make the restaurant work. Super willing.
Yeah.
They go through a couple weeks of like changing the menu and like looking at the kitchen and like doing all that stuff that he does on the show. They have a great reopening night. Super popular.
Okay.
A month goes by.
All right.
Dead. Gordon Ramsay leaves. Dead.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, people don't go back.
Come on.
Yeah. I really think that that's the case. I would be interested to see how many of the shows or how many of the restaurants that he goes to and like helps revamp stay popular.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I would be interested to know.
I would be interested in that too. But
or it's like, does he pay for the remodel of those restaurants? Or does the restaurant pay for it and then they're just in a shit ton of debt because they revamped the restaurant.
No, I think Gordon usually
He does,
that.
right? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Does the funding for it.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if he made them pay for it. I would believe that. I am not in the know.
Guys, tag Gordon Ramsay. We're going to get him on the podcast.
I just want... We should get a... Every time we like say something like that, we should do like a Fiverr of that person. Or like a... What's the cameo? Oh, we should cameo. A cameo of that person.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I think you and I...
Do you think he would?
Yeah, I think he'd fix it.
Yeah. Really? I felt like I was rambling on about that one, but I never really heard your opinion.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I think he could. I think he could fix it, and I think it'd be fine.
I respect your positive outlook on the situation.
It's just it's one of those things, man. This was a big one, and when I initially said it to you, you said yes, absolutely. So we got to go into detail.
Yep.
Figure out. Can Batman guide a tortoise across the U.S. during the zombie apocalypse? And
yes.
Here's the little the text that it says. It's 5 years into the zombie apocalypse. Resources are scarce, and the humans are losing the battle, but there's hope. Bruce Wayne is holed up in L.A. with a tortoise, and he needs to guide it across the U.S. And so the implication is that he doesn't have prep time.
Or resources.
Or like limited resources.
Yeah.
We can assume that Batman has the stuff in his Batcave.
Yeah. I would assume that he has prep time, though. No? Is there a reason to assume he doesn't?
I mean, it doesn't say that he does.
Yeah, because if he needs to guide it, I'm assuming it's like a mission to save the world. Is that like a wrong thing to assume?
I mean, yeah. I think the assumption is that he's going to save the world.
Like, yeah, so then I would assume he has prep time. Like, I think that, like, the way I think about it is that the tortoise is holed up in the Batcave.
Okay.
And he goes, we got to get you across. But, like, I'm also assuming that he can't fly with the tortoise. He has to, like, literally walk with it across.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And I think he could.
But, like, why? Like, in my head, I'm like, what does Batman have? Like, he's a great martial artist. He's a great tactician. Yep. He's got a lot of cool gadgets.
Yep.
But how is he going to hold off, like, zombie hordes? Like, how is he going to clear streets for this tortoise to cross the U.S.?
It's an interesting question. Batman's the GOAT.
Dude.
What?
You got to give me, like...
I honestly don't have a great answer for that. Because I don't know.
So then Batman
can't
do it.
But I think he can do it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I love Batman. He can't do it.
I'm not a writer, so I'm not going to write how he does it.
Dude, but
if I was Batman, I'd have an answer for you. That's what I would tell you. Yes, if I was Batman, I could tell you how he would do it.
No.
But I'm not Batman.
Obviously, you're not Batman. But my point is...
Obviously, it's a little rude, but that's fine.
Okay, dude. Listen, all right. It's entirely unrealistic.
I think
about how big the U.S. is.
Yeah. Do you think that Captain America could do it?
No.
Or does he have less of a chance?
Less of a chance.
Do you think that... Is there anybody that you think can do it?
Superman, The Flash.
I hate that.
Superman or The Flash.
How would The Flash do it?
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? The Flash doesn't even have to,
He's not going to pick it up.
No.
It's got to walk.
Yeah. But he can literally just
run circles around it.
He can run circles around it or, like, move the zombies. Superman can do the same thing or, like, kill the zombies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Batman's got to, like, have a fucking, like...
I just feel like Batman can do anything.
The entire U.S.? The entire U.S.?
Yes.
From East Coast to West Coast?
I think Batman can do it.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
No, dude. Batman can literally do anything.
No.
If I had a Batman tattoo,
okay,
I'd literally like rip my shirt off right now and be like, Batman can do anything. Like that's how dedicated I am to this cause.
Dude, I just like
I really think
so then I need you to explain it to me.
I can't explain it to you.
So then you can't. So then you have no grounds to stand on.
I don't need to convince you.
Yes, you
I
do.
believe that he could do it.
That's not good enough.
No. Imagine this. It's like you've seen the most recent Batman movie, right?
Yes.
You know, like at the end of that movie, everyone's like looking up at Batman. They're like, "Wow, Batman saved us."
Yeah.
Wow. That feeling is how I feel when Batman is gonna get the tortoise to New York. Like Batman's gonna show up to the end. Because here's the thing: nobody's gonna know how he fucking did it.
Dude, you're like, you're not.
Batman's like God.
You're not.
like that's how ethereal
You're still
his
not like
concepts are.
giving me an explanation as to why you're like, wow, all these people are gonna like cheer for him when he gets to the end. How does he get there, man? Like, you're not.
Can the tortoise be infected by zombies? Is that like the thought?
No, but it can be like eaten, killed.
Dude, I just in my heart of hearts, I think he could do it.
You're like, oh my God.
I really do. Like, that's the craziest part about this question is that you cannot convince me he can't do it.
Why?
It's literally not possible.
Dude,
I am 100% confident that man can do it.
You don't have any, like...
I don't need reasoning.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
How can you be convinced of something when you have no...
really thinking about what you're about to say because I'm about to throw something back at you and you're not going to like it.
Go ahead. I'm ready, dude.
There's millions of people out there that are convinced of things that don't have facts.
I know.
And I am choosing to believe in Batman today. That he will get this tortoise across the United States and succeed in his mission to save the world. And we're all going to look to Batman and we're going to go, Batman, why did I ever doubt you?
Dude,
Yes.
No.
Dude. I can't explain it.
Dude, you want to know? You want to know something? There was a literal comic where there were zombies in the DC universe and Batman got infected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, he's not a god. Like
you.
I said I see him.
Rewind the clip like 5 minutes ago when he said Batman is God.
I don't know, man. I just like. I think about it from the perspective of if I was reading this as a comic book.
Sure.
Right? I am flipping through these pages going, dude, I know Batman's going to do this. I know he's going to do it. And then when I get to the end of the story, I could be wrong. But I really if Batman was real, I would believe he can do anything. Like truthfully, given enough prep time, he could do anything.
The implication is that he doesn't have prep time.
Why?
Because it doesn't say so.
Why is the implication? So you're telling me he just finds this tortoise and he goes, "Dude, I got to get you across the United States."
But
that's the thought.
Not that he like finds the tortoise, but it's like it is known that the tortoise like needs to get across the U.S. and he needs to protect it, but he needs to do it in a certain amount of time.
Like, what stops him from like flying the Batwing and just like scooping him up with a crane?
The tortoise?
Yeah.
You just said that you can't pick up the tortoise. It has to walk.
Why doesn't he just like? I don't know, man. I just think he could do it. I think he could make something like a shield to put on the tortoise to where zombies can't get it, and then he just watches it walk from the Batwing.
I don't know, man. There's
a lot of empty space between here in LA and New York. There'll be a lot of boring shit watching that tourist.
Yeah, but like in my head, I'm like, think about like if it has to go through any major cities at all. Think about how slow it's going to go.
Does it have to?
I would assume so.
I would assume it has to start in LA and make it because it's going to like you say cross country. I just envision New York.
Sure, we'll say LA to New York.
If it starts in LA would be the hardest part, and then at that point you just guide it away from the major cities. And you could probably go from LA to New York and not touch a single town if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would assume so.
So why are we assuming he's going through major? Is he putting it on a bus?
Dude,
so he's got to go to major cities.
But the way that it states it is that it's like the majority of the human like let's think about the population of the U.S.
Let's just say if it was only Batman, that wasn't a zombie.
Let's say it was only Batman.
Yeah.
Everyone else, the entire United States population is zombies.
Yep.
Hey Siri. Siri? Bro.
Dude,
what is the population of the United States? How? 340,110,988.
So that many minus one, because Batman.
Yep.
Are zombies.
Yep.
I honestly think that even if I was a zombie, I'd see Batman. I go, dude, I'm not fucking with that guy.
Dude, you like. Oh my God. Like, you're not even thinking rationally anymore. You're just like, I'm a conscious zombie. I see Batman and I'm like, go ahead.
Walk on by.
I don't want to.
What's that tortoise doing? Crazy. Bye, Batman.
I don't want smoke.
I'm getting on my knees begging that guy. Be like, save us, Batman.
Dude.
Save us, Batman.
Save us, Batman. You're already infected, dog.
So then why is he doing it?
I don't know, man.
But he could.
No, he couldn't.
We need to move on. We know I'm not going to be convinced.
Yeah, you're not going to be convinced.
No.
But it's okay. It's okay. I think...
Because I, in all reality...
Is he going to do it?
In all reality...
Is he going to say it?
I can't think of a way for him to do it.
So I'm right.
So I believe he can.
I'm right.
Yeah. I would ask like a writer of Batman.
Sure.
Be like, hey, like, would you be able to write a scenario where he can do this?
We'll bring a comic writer on.
Or go ask Ben Affleck. He might know.
I don't think Ben Affleck would know.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
Maybe he would. I don't know. Anyway, all right. We're at that time.
Do you have one more for me though? I just want short and sweet. Yes or no?
No, I don't.
Oh, that was it.
I think that was it. Let me take a look real quick.
I was just curious.
Just to make sure. I believe that was it.
Oh,
yes.
All good.
Wait.
Can I give you
hold
one?
on.
Oh, you have another one?
Okay. This one is less. 4 men that are permanently hopped up on Adderall with indestructible shovels versus a sentient Jeep Wrangler with an IQ of 5,000.
Just who wins?
Yeah.
The Jeep Wrangler.
Okay. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I agree. Is that the only
Thank
one we
you
agreed
guys
on?
so much for watching and listening. That is the end of the episode. We appreciate it greatly. Huge shout out to Pengu Kim for doing our design and Reflexes for doing our music.
Yes.
Be sure to go check out our socials. While we don't post often, we always do post whenever there's a new episode going up, so be sure to go check it out.
True.
The Mind Meld podcast on Instagram and the Mind Meld PC on Twitter, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, do you have any closing thoughts?
Believe in Batman.
Sometimes believe in Batman. But yes, Batman is fantastic. Anyway, that was it from us. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.